What's up, guys? Daily upload number 3. Today we're talking about faith. Okay, so I know the past two I've kind of told stories. But this time I'm just kind of be talking about faith, the word faith, what it means, and certain things about it. Okay, so first of all, what does the word faith mean? Okay, and if you look at 2 Corinthians 5:7, it defines it as believing without seeing. Okay, so that's kind of like what we as Christians do. Okay, like me as a Christian, I've never actually seen Jesus. I mean, I've seen paintings, drawings, but I've never actually seen Jesus face to face. And if I think I did see Jesus face to face, I would die because he's so holy. I think it says that in the Bible. But yeah, and you that's what it means. And really, as Christians, it can be kind of hard to have some faith. I mean, obviously we have our doubts, but I'm glad I'm Christian because there's a lot of evidence that proves that first, Jesus was on the earth. Second, that he really did like miracles and stuff. And third, that he like actually raised from the dead. Okay. So for me, it's kind of easy to like put my faith in that as far as other religions. Like I've looked at like Islam and Judaism, and well, Judaism is really Christianity without Jesus. So not even Christianity. It's the Old Testament. Okay, they just believe the Messiah hasn't come yet. Let's read some examples of faith in the Bible. So let's turn to Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11, 1 through 6. Okay. Faith. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. This is what the ancients were commended for. By faith we understand that the universe was formed by God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. By faith Abel brought God a better offering than Cain did. By faith he was commended as righteous, for God spoke well of his offerings, and by faith Abel, I mean, and by faith Abel still speaks even though he is dead. By faith Enoch was taken from his life, so that he did not experience death. He could not be found because God had taken him away. For before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists, and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. Okay, so I kind of stuttered a little bit on that one, but it's talking about two people in the Bible. I guess you can kind of say, okay, two people, and then also like God. So we believe through faith that God created the universe, the whole world, everything, because I mean, how else would it have been made? I mean, there's like the Big Bang Theory, but like, come on, the Big Bang Theory, we're serious? No, and then after that, it talks about the two people. It talks about Abel. Now, I'm actually not sure what it talks about when it says, and by faith, Abel still speaks even though he's dead. I guess that could mean like his story's still told even though he's dead about his faith. That's the only thing I could like think about. And then it talks about Enoch, who was a prophet, and he had so much faith in God that God actually like allowed him not to experience death and to just go straight to heaven. That happened to Elijah, another prophet as well. So, I mean, first of all, just going straight to heaven when you're still on earth, not dying, that's got to be pretty good. I mean, like that's also fascinated me for a while, knowing how like only two people that we know of have been taken up to heaven. Maybe more people that we just don't know of have been taken up to heaven before they've actually died. Like that's just a crazy thing to think about, you know? And then why don't we talk about um you know how to get faith? Because we're talking about faith is believing without seeing. But Jesus talks about faith a little bit more. He elaborates a little bit more. So let's go to Romans 10:16 through 17. But not all Israelites accepted the good news, for Isaiah says, Lord, who has believed our message? Consequently, faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the word of Christ. But I ask, did they not hear? Of course they did. Their voices have gone out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. Okay, so basically what it's saying is like many Israelites in Jesus' day did not believe that he was the Messiah. Okay, many Israelites, especially the Pharisees, killed him because he was saying he was the Messiah, the Son of God, and that was like blasphemy back in the day. But I mean, not if he was telling the truth, which he was. Okay, so you look at that, right, and it says the only way through faith is through Jesus' word. Okay, but then if we look back at what we read before, it also said the only way to please God is through faith. So if you put two and two together, that's like the only way to get in heaven, at least. But there's a little bit more to faith. Like faith is believing without seeing, right? But I mean, some people say, I believe in God. Some people might say that, but then they're horrible people. They might do horrible things, you know, and that's faith with no works. And let's read a little bit about faith with no works. Okay, so let's turn to James 2:17. Literally says, in the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. Okay, so that means if you have faith, you believe in God, but you don't do good things, then the faith is dead. Okay, it's not pleasing to God. The same way that I would say Cain and Abel both had faith, but through Abel's good deeds and the willingness to put forward his best things, he pleased God because he had more faith as far as well, it's fine if I give this to God because it'll turn out better for me because I believe. But Cain simply gave God what he could grow back, and it really wasn't a big sacrifice to him. And now, I mean, we don't sacrifice animals or fruit or anything. We don't do that anymore because Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice. So now anything is like nothing compared to that. Literally, anything is nothing compared to Jesus being sacrificed. Okay. But why don't we talk about what faith can actually do? Okay. So let's turn to Matthew 21:22. This is actually Matthew 21:18. Early in the morning, as Jesus was on his way back to the city, he was hungry. Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went up to it, but found nothing on it except leaves. Then he said to it, May you never bear fruit again. Immediately the tree withered. When the disciples saw this, they were amazed. How did the fig tree wither so quickly? They asked. Jesus replied, Truly I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was just done to this fig tree, but also you can say to the mountain, Go throw yourself into the sea, and it'll be done. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Okay. So there's another thing. This is what faith can actually do. Okay. Faith can do whatever you want as long as you have no doubts. Okay. And I mean that's just crazy. Like he might have been using like hyperbole when he said, because Jesus did use exaggerations a lot in the Bible as far as like cut out your eye so you don't lust or whatever. But as far as like the mountain, you can actually say to the mountain, go jump in the sea, and it'll jump in the sea. I mean, that might be true. I mean, I believe like if I had faith and no doubts, but it's like almost impossible for us humans to have faith and no doubts just because of like the world we live in. There's no perfect human being. The only perfect human being was Jesus, and he died. Okay, so when we see other imperfect human beings. We can't, you know, not be a little bit like them, So we're going to be imperfect as far as Christians go. So we're going to be imperfect and we're going to have our doubts. So we're not going to have 100% faith, okay? But the only thing I would call you to do is to just obviously do the good deeds, okay? But also do your own time spending with God quietly, okay? So you grow in your faith as far as like say you read your Bible alone in your room, you pray to God alone in your room, nobody knows about it, okay? This kind of, I would say, grows your faith, okay? And then you go out and you do good things because of what you've read, and God kind of like, he almost talks to you. I mean, I'm just speaking from like personal experience. He almost like talks to you and like tells you what to do, because you'll get like this feeling that you should do something and you'll do it, especially more as you've done these things like read the Bible and pray, because you're growing a closer relationship to God. Okay, then and I wouldn't say go tell a mountain to jump in the sea. I mean, I think as Christians we can only do things that are according to God's will. Like that's a part of like us having faith, and we wouldn't do a thing that would like hurt anyone from becoming a Christian. That's what a problem is with a lot of Christians. A lot of them are not real Christians. They'll say they're Christian, but they'll not be kind. They're not very kind. They're very judgmental. Okay? And that hurts people, It's not kind. And as Christians, we're supposed to be kind, and kindness will help people, you know, be Christian, and it'll help them listen to us. And if we're talking about why we're kind, which is because of our relationship with God and our faith, then it'll help them hopefully become Christian and them to grow a closer relationship to God. So it's kind of like almost like a domino effect. If you go all in and you're really kind, someone's going to see that, okay? And they're going to go all in because they want to be like you, you know? So that's just a thought. And yeah, I would say, have faith. Obviously, you're going to have your doubts, but make sure to like read the Bible, because there's less doubts when you read the Bible, because those doubts are put down by verses and stuff said in the Bible. It's put down by evidence. So yeah. Um yeah, daily upload number 3. Was it good? Was it not? I don't know. You tell me. And like and subscribe. Later.